Welcome back, savages. We are going to talk about tonight. I always forget to turn my lights on. Are we green? I haven't even looked. All right, we're green. A little bit. 24 hour. All right, so I have lost my train of thought. We're going to talk about the RX 6700 XT Ethereum Hashrates, which we've already talked about before. I had it on my list, my little chart, my Google Sheet for a long time. I think that there was one slight change in the specs that came out today, but you know, there's some YouTubers doing content on 6700 XT specification links and all that stuff. So we'll talk about that. And then what I think the hash rate is going to be. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know what I think. So it's kind of funny, but just remember that this is something that I struggle with, and it's something that probably all crypto miners, GPU crypto miners, struggle with. Is like these hardware manufacturers, they don't care what the hash rate is. They don't. That's not their focus. They aren't like sitting there saying, "Hey, this is going to be awesome for mining Ethereum." That ain't even in the. That's not even in their playbook. They don't even. That's not even a consideration. And you can tell that by the decrease of the memory bandwidth. Like as time goes on, it seems like they're lowering the memory bus, like from 256 to 192 or whatever. So it's, and Ethereum mining is kind of based on that. So yeah, just always keep that in mind as a GPU miner. They don't care about us, and they're not building the GPUs for mining. So it's, once you accept that, it makes things a little bit easier planning your way ahead, if you know what I mean. So all right, I'm gonna look at the chat. I don't have, hey, what's up, Yashnik? What's up, Reckless? What's up, Max Voltage? I don't have anything planned. I'm just kind of winging it. What's up, Dan the Dane? Thanks so much for the super chat, man. That was awesome. What's up, D Childress? What's up, Shuby? Haven't seen you in a while. I do have some Fireball. I actually bought some Fireball and some Jack Daniels Fire, which is actually not bad. I don't like it quite as much as Fireball, but it's up there. It's right up there. It's not terrible. So yeah, and I always mix it with sweet tea, of course. And I'm not drinking at night or anything, but maybe for Friday night. We'll call it Crypto Fireball Friday, but it might not be. I might not be drinking or anything. The past couple of Fridays, I haven't drank anything, and I've just done like a video. Actually, I think I actually missed one Friday. This last Friday, I think I did a premiere. I don't know. I get so mixed up, so busy, things going on, and yeah, streaming and YouTube has. I know it's decreased my frequency a little bit. Has decreased, but I'm trying to get back in there. This is the second time this week, so just bear with me while I work through all this stuff. All right, so let's get into a little bit of content. So if you look over here on this spreadsheet here now, you know, they like I said, they've released these specs for the 6700, and it looks like it is going to be January of 2021. Hopefully there is a little bit better of supply, right? By then, maybe they've worked out the supply issues. But remember, I talked about this before. You know, the whole COVID thing is affecting supply chains and supply lines and delivery and all that stuff as well. So whenever all these chips were ordered, it was mid pandemic. Okay, so you know, we got to give them a little bit of a chance to get caught up. I mean, the supply sucks. There's no doubt. I mean, I think we saw, what did we see? Something sold out immediately today. What was released today? The 3700, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember, but I know that it sold out instantly. So we could probably plan on that. Hopefully by January, February timeframe, some of the supply is going to be looking a little bit better. So it looks like January of 2021 for the 6700 and the 6700 XT is what they're kind of looking at, January 2021. And they talk about in this little article here on Tech Radar that I think it's mentioned something in here about wanting to, hoping that the supply will be a little bit better than previous launches. So you can see right here, this one, I believe the previous ones had 256-bit memory bus. This one only has a 192-bit memory bus and 12 gig of memory. Some people like to, on the mining side, they like to focus on the amount of memory, and that can help with some algorithms like the Kukuru algorithms and things like that. But as far as like mining Ethereum, as long as you have enough to load the DAG, like the size of the memory really doesn't matter. So as long as you have enough to load the DAG, you're good. The big kicker is the memory bus width and the speed of the memory bus itself. Those are the two factors that really apply to Ethereum mining and Ethereum Classic mining at this point. And they're pretty similar, even though they went to ETC hash and all that. So yeah, so let's look at the sheet here. Actually, let me flip through this. So this was Tech Power Up. They've got some data here, and like I said, this has been here for a while. I don't think that too much has changed. Although I want to say that the original specification leak had a 256 memory bus. I could be wrong. I'd have to look back at my videos and figure that out. But I think that might be what had changed here. I believe that maybe everything else was pretty accurate. Maybe the number of, what was it? Maybe the number of TMUs or something. Oh, you know what did change? The FP32 performance. I think it actually increased. I think that this was at 10 point something previously, and now it's at 11. So that's actually that's good. 11 and a half. So that's pretty good, and that'll help a little bit. All right. And it looks like somebody, Igor, he does a lot of content. If this is the same person, I believe it is, that does a lot of, he's German. He does a lot of testing over in Germany. And he seems to get his hands on all these GPUs like way early. But anyway, it looks like he was testing some stuff and was hitting 2950 on that's memory clock on a 6700 XT. Again, this is all just rumor. I think they got this marked as a rumor somewhere, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, 2950. Now this could help with, I'm guessing that this could help a little bit with the hash rate, because you're cranking up the memory clock and in effect increasing the throughput, the bandwidth, right? So that might actually help. I think there was a little bit of a change to the TDP2. I want to say I had it at 180 originally on the sheet, and it's actually like 200, I think is what the new spec release is. Maybe that was the change. Maybe it was always 192. I don't know. I get confused. All right. So if you look at the sheet, finally we get to look at the sheet. Now, right now I have this sorted by cost per megahash, which is a critical value. Even for hobby miners, even for small miners, this is something you really want to pay attention to. You don't want to overpay for your GPU. Now, if you are just if you're mining part-time, like let's say you've got a gaming rig or something like that, then clearly this doesn't matter. But if you're building a rig for strictly mining, a dedicated mining rig, then this number here is really important, especially when it comes to whether or not you're going to resell the card, if you're planning on reselling at some point. You know, it can all affect your break-even point and all that good stuff, all that financial mathematics that we have to do as cryptocurrency miners, because you know things are tight. You have to watch how much you're spending on electricity and how much your equipment costs in order to make a decent profit, right? So if you're looking right here, I've got it highlighted. This is the 6700 XT. It looks like, let me check that price. Is that price right? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat if that price is correct for the 6700 XT. $499. I think that is right, but I don't know for sure. So let me know in the chat. Anybody? Anybody? Projected price of 6700 XT. I think I saw it at $4.99 somewhere, but I could be like totally way off. Maybe there's not a price out yet, but I had it on the sheet at $4.99, but I think I changed it from maybe not. Maybe it is $4.99. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Anyway, let's just say it's $4.99. That would probably be pretty accurate because the 6800 XT is $649, so $449 to $4.99, somewhere around in there. Most likely. Seems about right. All right, so if we go over here to, we don't know any overclocks or any of that. That's what this is right here. Let me freeze that top row here. Yeah, so we don't know any overclocks or anything like that just yet. All right, so if we go in here, we've got $4.99 is the price. We've got a 200 watt TDP, which I think is what the specs are showing now. Yeah, 200 watt TDP right here. So at 200 watts, and each column, so the way that this is broken down now, we don't know what the actual mining wattage is going to be. We would say, hopefully we could get down to, like this is 60% right here. These new GPUs, previous generation GPUs, typically was about a 70%, was about as low as you could get on the power and still mine effectively and without errors and stuff. But it looks like the newer ones, probably because of the newer technology, smaller transistors, all that stuff, 7 nanometer chips and all that, it seems like the power, you're able to go all the way down to like 60% and still be mining without errors. So if we can do that on the 6700 with a 200 watt TDP, you're looking at 120 watts. And if we can get to 120 watts, okay, let me plug 120 in here. And then we're going to change, now that's not going to change the cost per megahash, but it does change the megahash per watt, which is another value that you kind of have to look for. But let's go across the line here and make sure we got our numbers right so that we can kind of do a comparison. I've got my kilowatt, my electric cost at 10.3 cents per kilowatt hour. Shows like what it'll cost each day to run the card at 100%. This is what it'll cost each day at 70%. And then the actual is right here, because if this is 120, if you can get it down to 120 watts, which I don't know. I mean, guys, it's all speculation at this point. We could, if we can get 60%, that's 120. So that would be awesome. Maybe it'll be 65%, and it'll be, I don't know what that will come out to, maybe 130, 135, 140, somewhere around in there. So the memory bandwidth is 384 gigabytes per second, sorry. And then the memory size is going to be 12 gig. Again, not important for mining Ethereum or Ethereum Classic, as long as you have enough to load the DAG. Memory type is GDDR6, G6, no infinity cache, I guess. Is that right? Actually, it probably will have. No, I don't know. I don't know about that. It doesn't matter because it doesn't seem to do much with the GPUs unless you have, was it a 5000 series CPU also? Then you might be able to get that double like Bispy Trippin got on one of his streams. Looks like it's going to have one 8-pin. Don't know if that's right or not. I think that's on the sheet over here. One 8-pin. Yep, one 8-pin. It's a 2 slot. I believe that's correct as well. Used to say that on here. I don't see it anymore. Maybe it's just not listing that just yet. Normally, oh, there it is, dual slot. Okay, so dual slot. It's Navi 22 XT. I think this is some type of, I can't, maybe Flounder or something like that. I don't remember the code name. It's got 40 compute units, 192 TMUs, 64 ROPS, and right here it says 2250 for the boost, but what we're seeing is some pretty higher, a lot higher memory possibilities here. We might be able to get, I believe this is the 6700 that he's looking at here. If we can get 2950, that would be pretty cool. All right. And then we got some other numbers here. Yeah, that was what, this is what was changed. I think it was 10 something before, so now it's 11. All right, so let's go back over here all the way to the left. And based on those computations with the memory bandwidth and the speed, the throughput and all that, you're looking at 48 megahash per second on ETH hash or ETC hash out of the box. I would imagine that you might be able to get a little bit more than that, especially with that clock, that memory clock that you're going to be able to go crazy with, instead of like, I think the 6800 was something like 2300 max, 2350. But if you can go like 29, then maybe that's going to help the hash rate a little bit. So yeah, 48 is probably what you're going to be looking at. And I can pretty much verify this because this was what the calculations were for the 6800, and that, as far as I can see and I've seen, 64 is what they are getting. Now some of this might change with updated drivers or miner software that targets a specific part of the GPU that might be able to exploit something in some way and you know, carve out another 5% or 10% hash rate. But 64 looks like the number for 6800 and 48 looks like the number for 6700. So where does that put it in the chart if you are basing it on cost per megahash? I mean, it's way down there, guys. It's $10 per megahash if the cost is $4.99. If you can get one for like say $4.49, then that puts it at $9.35 per megahash. So let's see if that moves it up a little bit. Moves it up one, just above the 6800 XT. And in between the 6800 and the 6800 XT. So that's not bad. That's a pretty good place for it. But the 6800 is, yeah, 64,579. Yeah. So this is actually a little bit better. The 6800 is a little bit better as far as cost per megahash. Now this other value over here, the megahash per watt, is something else you have to look at. It's just something else to consider based on what your personal goals are here. So let's sort by megahash per watt. And what you're going to see is you're going to see it jump way up towards the top of the list, right? It's way up there because at 60% TDP, you're getting 0.4 megahash per watt, which is not bad. Oh wait, hang on. Oop, I did that. I need to go higher. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, wait a minute, something's not right. Okay, because 0.4 isn't that great. I mean, it's okay, but on the list of GPUs here, I mean, there's a ton that are better, right? And there's a ton that are better with the cost per megahash. So that's where this card falls. It's not going to be super great, super awesome to buy this for specifically for mining, in my opinion. If these numbers come true and it's 48 and that's the cost, I mean, think about it. You can get 2.5 RX 580s and get 90.6 or even more than that, because they can usually get like 32. So you're looking at, and that's at $180, and you can find these a little bit less than that, you know, on the used market, of course. Now, you're looking at almost 100 mega hash for the same price as a 6700. But you know, guys, do what you want to do. If you want to buy the newest stuff, that's fine. I'm all about you guys doing whatever you want to do, but I just want to throw the data out there so that you can make an informed decision on where to go from here. I'll tell you what I did. I bought some really inexpensive GPUs recently. I'm going to be building a rig and mining ETC with it and just see what happens. Really inexpensive GPUs because it's all the way down to 3 gig now, right? You can mine Ethereum Classic with 3 gig GPUs for another couple years. So it would be pretty easy to break even on that hardware and actually probably make a profit by the time they die or Ethereum Classic's DAG gets too large for a 3 gig, which is a couple of years. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to probably document it and keep track of it so that we can really analyze the return each month or each day or each week. I don't know how I'll do it, but that should be pretty fun. And also, well, the thing that I'm kind of worried about is Ethereum going to proof of stake, and then also the factor of Ethereum miners that are currently using 4 gig GPUs are going to have to put them somewhere once December 25th or so rolls around and the DAG becomes too large for 4 gig GPUs to mine Ethereum. So they're going to have to switch over to Ethereum Classic. We're probably going to see a pretty significant increase in hash rate, network hash rate for Ethereum Classic and difficulty. So the profitability is going to go down. That's the one thing that I'm kind of worried about, but I'm hoping that things will like level out over, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 months, and people will jump off the network because it's not profitable, because, you know, whatever. So you know how this works. I mean, it's such an ingenious situation with how the proof of work mining actually works, because, you know, once it becomes unprofitable, you know, miners will start turning off and mining something else, and then the difficulty comes down and the hash rate comes down and all that stuff. So it's really cool the way that this works. That's the one thing I'm kind of worried about, though, is many months of not great profits with the new rig with 3 gig GPUs. So, all right, I'm gonna check the chat here and see what you guys are hitting me up about. Chancoin, yeah, they're super efficient. They're the mining GPUs, really old ones. Posted a short video on your channel. You mean like Discord? Unknown Crypto? Or did you leave it in a comment or something? Yeah, exactly, Danadane. I mean, if you look at the chart, I mean, this is what it is. So, you know, as far as mega hash per watt, you know, the 3000 series pretty much destroy everything, but the cost is a big factor, right? Because for the 3090, for example, I mean, no one's going to buy that strictly to mine with, I don't think, unless it's just in a rig on its own. But I mean, to build like a rig of 3090s would be kind of ridiculous. I mean, the hash rate is great, but look at the cost per hash rate, right? Per mega hash. Now, again, we're only talking about Ethereum and Ethereum Classic here, nothing else. That's all we're talking about. I mean, if you're looking at mining something else, then some of these other GPUs might be better. You know, 6700, I don't know, it might crush, you know, the Kukuru algorithms or you know, some privacy coins, you know, some kryptonite stuff. There's no telling. I need to get into that and really see what they're going to be doing with those algorithms too, because that can be a factor as well. Yeah, so the 3000 series just crush when it comes to mega hash per watt. Absolutely crush, but that's where it ends because they're too expensive. I'm still liking this 5600 XT, like where it falls in both categories. Like it does well on the mega hash per watt. It does well on the cost per mega hash as well. So that's pretty solid. 5600 XT looks like it's, if you want to get a new GPU and you want to mine with it, and you want to mine Ethereum and Ethereum Classic with it, it looks like the 5600 XT is probably the go-to card. All right, guys, I am going to get out of here. I did it again. I went way over the time that I expected to. I wanted to have this done in like 15 minutes or less, and then I get all distracted with the chat and stuff. Good job, guys. Max Voltage says, this is why I'm going to NVIDIA. Hopefully there will be a new coin to mine that will be very profitable. Yeah, CFX, Octopus, I know that's new. Conflux, I think is the name of it. Don't know much about it. I thought about doing a little bit of a review on it, looking into it, and maybe doing like how to mine or something like that. It seemed kind of interesting, but not that much. It just looks like something new, right? I don't know what they are doing different than other projects, right? So that's you gotta do that, or you gotta do something that another project is already doing, but you gotta do it way better, because there's so many projects that have first mover advantage that it's ridiculous. So you have to be careful out there, guys. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Thursday. Don't know what we'll be doing. There's no telling. I don't even want to speculate because whatever I say, I won't do. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Stay savage, everybody.